Hi, everyone. This is Jamie McGuire, and you're listening to Monday Morning Critic.
For that, Jamie. So there's a few things I'd love to talk to you about. Where do I start? The first thing is I don't think in the history of me watching television shows or any type of shows, whether it's on Netflix or a movie, where I've seen somebody that is, IMDb says you have one episode. I feel like you're in more than just one, right?
I'm sorry, for which season?
For the so I feel like in total IMDb says you're in it for one season, one episode, and I'm like that doesn't seem right unless I'm reading the wrong thing.
No, I'm sure I'm in for more than one episode,
Yeah,
so
me
no worries
too.
at
Yeah,
all.
yeah, me too. I'm like,
So,
I'm gonna have to correct that on IMDb because I'm looking. I'm like, wait a second. I know for a fact he's in at least two, potentially three or more.
yeah,
So
no worries at all.
yeah. So like I was saying, I don't think I ever remember in the history of television because you started as somebody who became part of the show as somebody who was a would you say extra, Jamie? Is that a fair way of saying it?
Yes, I was an
Background
extra
actor.
background. Yeah,
Yeah.
background extra. Yeah.
So then I feel like they fully realize your potential and maybe figure out that you're perhaps undercast in your abilities and what you bring to the show. Is that a fair way of saying it?
I'm just glad they made the decision. I'm just glad they made the decision to upgrade me.
Yeah, so I guess that's what I'm trying to find out. How does that happen? So like you get this great opportunity as a background actor. How do you evolve from a background actor to where you are on the show today?
In all honesty, I'm really not sure. I guess I would say it's thanks to the cast and crew there and the fans. I'm not sure who exactly made that decision, but I'm glad they did, and for that I can't thank them enough.
Do they pull you aside, Jamie, and say, "Listen, we have bigger plans for your character"? Does that conversation take place?
No, a conversation like that never took place. Just after season one first came out, there was a lot of talk on from Facebook groups,
Yeah.
wondering who this person was, and apparently I just freaked out everybody, especially with that the scene over the banister looking down,
Yeah.
and everyone was wondering who I was, and no one could find me until it came up later that I should introduce myself. And last year I did an interview saying who I was and how I became part of the show. And ever since my first day on set, I enjoyed every minute of it.
Yeah, yeah, and like I was saying earlier, I don't ever remember a character being as popular or more than some of the series regulars. I feel like I've never seen anything like this. I mean, it's well deserved for sure,
Thank
but
you.
I mean, Facebook itself. You go to Reddit or anybody talking about From, and I feel like they're talking about you as much, or if not more, than some of the people that have been in the show every episode. So that's a huge accomplishment, Jamie.
Thank you very much. I'm not sure how much in comparison to say most of the main characters. I'm just glad for the attention and the praise that I've been receiving, and I really do appreciate everyone, fans, cast, crew. I just really want to thank them for where I am today.
Yeah, yeah, and I want to back up a little bit and then go back into From, but have you've always wanted to be an actor, Jamie? Is that something that you as a kid you've kind of longed for and really wanted to achieve?
Yes, ever since I was a kid, I really couldn't see myself doing anything else. Ever since I was a kid, I'd watch these movies, TV shows, no matter what genre, and just think of how cool the movies are, how amazing the actors and characters are. And one day, I guess I just got in my head thinking if I could be a part of that one day, and
Mm.
not gonna, I mean, that would be just amazing if I could be a part. If I could be a part of that, and it'd be doing something I love every day.
Yeah, I don't know how the casting people who did that movie Smile missed you. Like, I don't know how they did it. That is ridiculous. Like, I think I posted something like that in Facebook where, like, how did like I mean, and I want to talk about something else because somebody people were comparing you to, I guess, Pennywise, which I kind of get. Joker, I kind of get. Howdy Doody is stupid. I don't get that. That doesn't make any sense to me.
Oh,
Um,
I've seen. Oh, go on.
yeah, go no, go ahead. No, you're right. People are saying those things. The first two I see, Howdy Doody's more of a. I don't like that. That's lame. That's not true.
Oh, I take it all in stride.
Yeah.
It's been funny. I've from since I've been on the part of it, since I've been part of this, I've compared to a few characters. Howdy Doody, Pennywise, at least two or three different versions of the Joker.
Yeah.
Chucky and the Riddler were also two others.
Oh, those are good. And I'll tell you who you remind me of. You remind me of Ron Howard, who was on Happy Days, and is now a really high end director. You know who Ron Howard is, obviously.
Oh yes, for
Yeah.
sure.
You very much remind me of Ron Howard as far as the way you look, and so that is a compliment, I would think.
Well, thank you. I really do appreciate that.
Jamie, is there a movie like so when I grew up, if somebody said, "Okay, Derek, what's a movie you love," or something that really you think about years later, or an actor, is there a movie for you, Jamie, that when you were a kid you absolutely loved, or growing up you absolutely love, or even an actor as well, Jamie?
Oh, it's really hard to narrow it down to just one because I love all genres, be they cartoon, fantasy, sci-fi, horror, comedy, action. Although now that you did mention Ron Howard, the first Ron Howard movie I ever saw was Jim Carrey and The Grinch.
Wow,
So that
great
was
movie. Yeah.
yeah, that was I think one of the first live action movies I saw as a kid that wasn't a cartoon. So I remember I think I was sitting in the front row, if not very near the front row. I'm 7 years old seeing this thing for the first time, and I'm just
Wow.
like, yeah.
Wow, and you know, so I have to ask you this. I'm going to make you give me a movie. So if I said to you, you're on a deserted island, you can only take 3 movies. There's not one
Oh,
that there's not one you would take.
I'm really not sure. Let's see. Now anyone who knows me knows I'm a huge Christmas fan. So
Yeah.
which is funny because with the genre I'm in and how I freak people out the most is like I could have sworn you were a Halloween guy. But it's getting to be a closer second. Christmas is always first, but it's getting to be a closer second. So 3 movies. Oof, that'd be hard to tell. That'd be really hard to say.
What's your take on? Let me throw some Christmas movies at you. Give me your thoughts on it. How about? Are you a Krampus guy or no?
The horror one, you mean?
Yeah.
It wasn't bad, but if I'd have to choose 3 Christmas ones right away, it would have to be actually only 3 would be tough. I'd say my favorite, if not one of my favorite movies, is Miracle on 34th Street.
Oh, good one.
The original and the 1994 one, because when I was a kid, I grew up with more of the 1994 one.
Okay. All right. You're a Christmas guy. That's all right. I love Christmas movies are fantastic. Yeah. So give me some more. Give me some more on it. That it doesn't have to be 3. Whatever you want to say.
Okay. Oh, I don't want. I feel like I don't want to exclude anything or anyone. Let's see. Well, I wouldn't say no to Jim Carrey's The Grinch anytime soon because and of course, the Miracle on 34th Street ones, ever since I was a kid, that'd be one of the 3 things to do on Christmas Eve before I went to bed.
Nice.
Like, is watch that movie with my family. Like,
yeah.
No matter what time of the day, make the time, just take however long it is and go from there. So it'd be that one, Jim Carrey's The Grinch. Oh, geez, the third one. Really hard to say.
Home Alone, Christmas Vacation guy?
Ooh, I'm not sure what the third one would be, but yes to both of them. So
yeah.
When it comes to that, it's like, would you take this, this, or this? I would just go, yes. So it'd be like, yeah, there's.
So last one I'm going to ask you about. It's my favorite Christmas movie. So
sure.
I don't know. It's a really obscure one. So if you've never heard of it, don't think anything about it. So it's with Albert Finney. It's a 1973 Scrooge movie. It's kind of a musical.
Right.
Have you ever seen it? I love it. I think it's awesome.
You know what's interesting? You mentioned that I've heard about it over the years, but I've never actually been able to see it.
Yes.
Until December 2022.
Get out of here! So you have seen it.
I actually have seen it, but I haven't seen it until December 2022. First time ever I saw it.
It's pretty good, right?
I found it really interesting, their take on it and everything. And of course, Albert Finney, I found like to be a great actor too, like in at least some of his other movies.
Yeah.
Like actually ones I've watched recently, like his version of Murder on the Orient Express and Aaron Brockovich, 2 of the ones I watched recently, because like no matter what character he plays, he always like he was really talented and he could always bring a sense of humor to it, no matter what it was.
Yeah.
I found like in those ones, like especially at the end, it's like, oh, I don't want to mess up a line, but I just find no matter what character, it's always a different kind of humor, but it's still a good humor to it as well.
Yeah, no, I think
he was fantastic.
He sure was, and I gotta say, I'm the kind of person that I will pop in a Christmas movie in July, in September. Like, I don't know. There's some that you can watch all year round. Like, people
Hey, they
only.
call it,
Yeah, go ahead.
no, they call it Christmas in July for a reason. I mean, you're looking at a guy who actually would binge watch some of the stuff for Christmas in July, is on the Hallmark, say, wish or dream book wish list, tries to get that as early as possible. I try to do my shopping as early as possible, be it online or in store, because about 10 years ago, this was back in, say, no, this was the week after Halloween. I'm in, and one weekend on a Saturday, I just decided to go out on my own, backpack on my back, and go straight to the mall and just buy whatever gifts I can. I tell my
Yeah.
friends this. They're looking at me like I got 5 or 10 heads. But sure enough, it's 2 weeks before Christmas, and they're going out of their minds wondering what they're going to get, how they're going to get it, when they're going to get it. Meanwhile, I'm just sitting there, not saying a word, right? Because you don't want to brag or anything. But one of my friends actually looked at me and was just like, we laughed at him for doing it, but he was actually smart to do that. So,
That's right. That's right. That's right.
but
That's
I'm
right.
just like, I'm not saying anything. I'm not saying anything, but thank you. So,
And Christmas music is also year-round music. I think. I mean, I think some of those songs are just like some of the stuff by the older guys, like Bing Crosby and
oh,
Nat King Cole. Like, you could listen to that stuff all year round.
oh, for sure. Actually, since you mentioned Bing Crosby, White Christmas is another one I've watched over the years
Mm,
too.
mm.
And of course, his version of White Christmas and Nat King Cole, the Christmas song, one of my favorites, one of my newer favorite songs, Christmas songs now.
So that's a song you could listen to all year round, and it's just beautiful. The Nat King Cole
Yep.
Christmas song.
Heck,
Yeah.
heck, sometimes, actually, the day after Halloween, I would actually listen to Christmas music almost every single time, be it on my phone or in the car on the radio. And
That's awesome.
sometimes, believe it or not, I may or may not, depending on how I feel after a workout, if I just need to relax. So
Yeah, that's great,
no,
man.
but
That's
no, but
awesome.
as soon as but come Halloween, I listen to like Halloween music, or I binge watch Halloween shows too. But it's like, oh, November 1st. Okay, so let's see, the decorations are here. Soon time to put up the tree and that sort of stuff.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Like, seriously, like, to be passionate. Like, I've always been the same way. Like, I've always looked forward to Christmas. I've always been that guy. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I get it. I get it. So what makes you decide to step into the background actor opportunity and from? Like, how does that come about? Do you see something advertised? Does your agent get a hold of you? How does that work, Jamie?
So when it first started with season one, I noticed, apply for background. It's a good way to get, and this was, say, in 2021, just after the big COVID scare and everything. The industry's gradually starting to rise up, make a comeback. And in my opinion, hopefully, knock on wood, somewhere it'll come back, stronger too, right? Or be as strong, if not stronger.
Right.
Anyway, so one day I received an email on a casting website looking. It's like, oh, okay, it's background stuff. You know what? I should give it a try. I should give it a try and apply, see what happens. And then one day I got an email back saying, you've been selected for this, right? Say one of the creatures. And since then, on days I was called in or whenever I could be available, I was there.
Oh, that's awesome. That's
Oh, I
awesome.
mean, I love not just from itself, not just the show itself, not just the cast and crew and everybody involved with this, but the industry itself. Like, the more days I work in the industry, the happier I am.
Yeah, yeah, that's a great answer. But what I really love about From is that it's horror with a story. Like, you can appreciate it. Like, I was watching the Halloween remakes that came out in the last few years.
Right.
I want to be nice, but they were terrible because it was just Michael Myers going crazy and just killing people. To me, that's not like fun. Like, some people love it. Fine, but for me, I love watching a story that has good writing to it, good acting to it. It's going somewhere, and I feel like that's the definition of that is From, Jamie. And that's what I really love about it. What do you? And we talked a little just in the beginning. What do you think about the people on like Facebook and Reddit going nuts about your performance and raving about it? That's got to be overwhelming, huh? That's pretty impressive.
Well, I really do appreciate the praise I've been receiving, and I'm glad that not just myself, but everyone everyone on the show and the show itself has been getting such great attention and praise.
My favorite. What's the official name of your? Would you say what
Smiley.
Smiley? Okay, so
Yep,
my favorite Smiley. I mean, I've watched 5 episodes into season 2, and I hope I'm not ruining anything for people that haven't seen this. I think this was early season 2, late season 1, when Smiley goes on the bus and tells the two elderly people, "You picked a bad hiding spot." Dude, I couldn't stop laughing. I was terrified for these people, but after you said that line, I could not stop laughing. That was an awesome moment, Jamie. You had to appreciate that as an actor, right?
Oh, I really did. Oh, and I don't want to be rubbing it in or anything, but this is for you, Dirk. You picked a bad spot.
There goes sleep tonight.
Well, it's on the well. I'm hoping it's not a spoiler. I mean, you can see it on the trailer minus the eyebrow raise. So
Yeah,
you look up the trailer. It's like you picked a bad spot.
oh, he is the most frightening. I love your character, and I love Veronica, who I had on the podcast, who plays the girl who gets the flowers. She's really another wonderful Canadian actor as well.
Sure.
Molly, yeah.
Yes.
But you're also on the poster art, man. Like I feel like they brought you in not knowing how valuable you are, and then like I've never seen before, you've flourished, and it's so wonderful to see. I'm so happy for you, and like fans are loving it, they're loving you, and I don't know, I can't spout about it enough. I love it.
Thank you. I'm glad to hear that from you. Well, I'm glad to hear that from everyone, including you. So, I
Yeah,
mean, in all honesty, I mean, when I applied for this thing back in season 1, I didn't even know what to expect
yeah.
with how it came to be. In fact, I was probably more shocked than anybody having heard about this, having received this. Like, I guess it doesn't really sink in until 100% it's happened. And then even then, like, it's like keep it internal for now. It's like just keep it inside, and then when everything's said and done, then you can, uh, you know, I don't know how to say this, but it's just like be calm, and then alone, it's just you're almost cheering to yourself in your head, pretty much, right? It's just like it's like I'm so happy, I can't believe this.
You strike me as a very humble guy. You are very humble and very honest and sincere. So yeah, I could see that. And what's great about this is you're flourishing in a project that I think the executive producers are the Russo brothers who directed the Avengers Endgames, and so you're doing it in the right place. And this show is gaining momentum. Like this show had a slow start to it, but there are a lot of people on board now. This thing is in full motion. Like people are all on from right now.
No, I'm glad the show has been doing as well as it has been doing so far, and I hope that it continues to do as well as it is.
Yeah. Do
And
you?
no, I mean, I don't have enough. I can't say enough praise for the show and everyone involved.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
really can't. And I know I almost sound like a broken record for saying this, but it
No.
couldn't be more true. And I really can't thank everyone enough for including me with this. And it's overwhelmingly amazing. If that makes any sense.
It does. It does. So tell me about the prosthetics you use. So I have two. If you look at the screen, there's two pictures of you. There's one of you looking over the railing, and then there's the one from your promo poster in the left-hand corner.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So, all right. So, right. So the one looking over the banister. So the one with me looking over the banister.
Yeah.
Some people still find this hard to believe, but me looking over the banister, minus hair and makeup, that's me.
Wow.
And as for the poster, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if there are any, but that's pretty much me. So, like, now I don't know what, if anything, has been like, if not all, for the most part, it's pretty much me. Like looking over the banister, aside from the hair and makeup, it's me.
Yeah. So is there? So I used the wrong word, not prosthetics, but is it like do they throw a lot of makeup on you, Jamie? Is it minimal?
I'm not really sure. It's
Yeah.
I guess it often varies on what the scenes call for, or rather for how long it's going to be, or how long it'll last, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, touch-ups are always done from time to time or in between takes, just to make sure it's maintained, be it if you do an odd action, or be it weather, or just overall climate, I guess. But I've never really noticed how much or how little makeup is there. I just look, I'm just like, this is amazing. So
Yeah, yeah. No, what do you love most about playing Smiley? What do you love most about it?
it's hard to say. I mean, well, first I don't know where to start, but the character and it Smiley, the character has just become amazing to do. Even before I guess Smiley was really Smiley,
Yeah,
and I guess just the scenes, the people I'm around, honestly, and I'm now I don't know how to put this, but honestly, every day on this show, there was no such thing as a bad day.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
be it whether I had to be an early bird, whether I had to be a complete night owl, I just loved it, and it helps all the more that not only are you doing a project you love doing, but you're also around people that they're professional, they're polite, they're respectful, they're they're knowledgeable, and they look out. And I like to think we all look out for each other,
yeah.
no
That's
matter
a
what,
yeah,
because like no, be it cast, crew, what have you, it's they like basically they're there for each other, and I think that's one of the key things that actually helps a series or any project really flourish.
yeah.
Chemistry on and off set. I mean, despite the fact that being on camera, I freak out pretty much everybody, but off camera, it's just everyone's relaxing, shooting the breeze, like in between takes. Yes, going over scenes, but also just talking about everyday conversation.
Jamie, you know what would be awesome? That's a great answer, by the way. You know what would be awesome
Thank
is
you.
if you were doing your daily groceries or going to the mall or getting something to eat in the same outfit and makeup that you do in the show and just smiling at people and staring at them. I think that would be great to mess with people, but that's
Oh, that
probably
would
gonna be
be
a future.
epic. Actually, a few friends and I once joked about it's like, I should do is like we should do this for Halloween or whatever. Just like or just like as like a joke with an on it's like just have a few people around, it's just like, okay, what's going on here? Or just like it's like, should we be a good kind of scared where it's a nice costume, or should we be worried? Or no, like in all seriousness, like I mean, I've received everything. It's like, oh my gosh, it's so creepy. I love it. It's like, and one of the first things I've seen, and I'm slightly paraphrasing, was something along the lines of, I mean, it's like, it's so creepy. I love it. It's like, oh, it's 3 a.m. Why did I choose this to be my screensaver? Or, and because I've had friends and family tell me, it's like, okay, I'll watch it because you're in this, even though it's like, I'll watch it because you're in it, but just bear in mind that I'm going to be watching it when it's broad daylight and all the lights in my house are turned on. I'm just like, no worry. It's like, no worries, right? So,
So what have friends and family said to you, Jamie? Have they been super proud of you? Have they been like blown away? What have friends and family said?
no, they've been happy for me, and
Yeah, good.
I guess yeah, no, they've been happy for me, and I can't, and really, I want to thank them too, because they've always been there for me,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
no, it's good to have support on and off camera, right?
sure.
But also, it means a lot to me that friends and family have seen this. They like what's come of this. They just love us, and it's just they've received. I've received so much. I've received a fair bit of praise from them too.
Jamie, you're a good guy. I have a couple more questions. Thank you for all of this time. You've been
Oh, no
super
worries.
kind.
Thank you. I'm glad to be
Yeah,
here.
yeah. You have to get on Cameo because I have a feeling you know what Cameo is, where people like they put in a request, then you fulfill. You know what that is? It's on.
Sort of. You mind going a little further
Yeah.
with me?
So if I was like, say I'll just say Ralph Macchio because I'm looking at the
Sure.
poster. Let's say somebody wants a greeting from Ralph Macchio. They pay the service Cameo, okay,
Mm.
and Ralph Macchio would leave a 30-second happy birthday message. So in your case, they would send Cameo the money. Cameo would say, look, you have to go to John Smith in Massachusetts and leave a 30-second message, as Smiley, and then you would do your patented smile. That's how Cameo works. So I think you'd be a good candidate for Cameo. I think a lot of people would enjoy getting a personalized message from Smiley. I think that would be great. But
Thank you. I really appreciate you saying this.
yeah.
That thought never occurred to me. Although, sure, I walk down the neighborhood. Sure, I walk down the neighborhood, or something comes up, or if it's like an in-person thing, it's just we be worried, or it's like, hey, pal, it's a little late or a little early for Halloween, don't you think?
Yeah. And I can't wait to see what the roots of Smiley are, because we're at the point. I'm at the point now. I'm a little bit ahead because I got to see it earlier, but like I could see, we know we know the creatures. There's more to it. There's a lot deeper. How much of the story do you know, Jamie? And I'm gonna tiptoe around this so not to get you in any trouble.
Sure.
Do you know how the story evolves, or do you find out a little bit at a time?
I really don't, and I'm really not sure what's going to come of the story. I didn't even see episode 1 until yesterday when it came out on Paramount Plus.
Ah, okay, okay, all right.
So I just want this to be, and I'm okay, and I'm completely okay with that, because in all honesty, I just love that it's going to be, and I'm hoping it's just going to be a nice surprise. I'm sure it will be,
J-
and it makes, and I liked what you said earlier about how it has more of a story and everything like that too, because I've seen, be it on Facebook or actually friends have actually that I've been talking to about this. Just, what'd you think of episode? Or they said, "Oh, I've seen episode 1. It's been amazing, right?"
mm.
And they said something along the lines of, "Okay, now that I've seen this thing, I have about 50 or 60 more questions." But no, but I find that's a good thing, because
That's
it's
a
a
great thing.
series.
Yes,
Because
yes.
it's a series that it makes people want more. It makes people want to see more, to know more,
Yeah.
and it's great that they enjoy it so much. Now, when it comes to season finales, I've not from, but other shows where it's been a cliffhanger,
Yeah.
and I find a cliffhanger, it's like an and a ooh at the same time.
Yeah.
If that
Yeah.
because whenever I see a season finale, it's like, oh, I gotta, like, let's just say the season finale of any TV show I watch on NBC or something
Right.
ends in May, and it doesn't come out again until September.
Right.
If like you feel kind of like you feel somewhat anxious at the fact that it ends on a cliffhanger, but you're all the more eager for when it comes back in, say, September, October-ish. And
Yeah.
I'm just ballparking these dates, right, or these months, but
Yeah.
like roughly like that. I find it's a catch, but no, I love when it has. I love it when it has the viewers wanting more, because that just means people are going to want more. They love it that much. They're eager to see more.
Yeah. From is like that at the end of the first season when the bus comes in. That's the cliffhanger, right? You're like, oh no, a whole bus full of people are here now. Like that was kind of a cliffhanger for me. I felt like.
Oh, I completely agree. It goes
Yeah.
from, it's like, come on, what's next? Like, ooh, okay, it's back. It's finally here. All right.
Yeah.
Right. And I actually saw this, and I've seen a few memes, not just of memes or clips or what have you, not just of myself, but I saw this one meme or whatever where there was a cartoon, not of myself, but someone going into a private room, going into, I guess, their bedroom, and putting a do not disturb thing. It's like going to watch from dot dot dot, and the cartoon walks in to their room, hangs a sign, closes the door, and it's like do not disturb, and like one of those classic cartoon things, right?
Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah, those
Yeah.
and there's been a ton of memes, especially aimed at your character too. Jamie, how would you do in this environment, right? Because the thing I love about From, it's like a 1-2 punch, right? One, you're in a place you can't leave, right? And it's just terrible because it's like you're closed in on this one space. There's no leaving. And then at nighttime you have creatures, so it's like a double dose of like hell. Like it's Jamie, how would you do if this was a real thing? And not Smiley, but you, Jamie,
Ooh.
you were in this position. How would you do?
Ooh. I prefer to live in there as Smiley, but no, no. All right, no. All kidding aside, as Jamie, I've been asked similar questions before. So if I were on my own, I would go in Colony House, because like because so as myself, I would go Colony House. With a family, it would be the town. I would be townsfolk,
Mm,
and because either way, be it Harold watching over you or Donna watching over you, I think as long as you're smart, you look out for others, people help each other out, you'll think you'll do okay.
Mm.
Just keep the talismans handy, and be on the lookout. Just take care of yourself, look out for others, and just hopefully you'll be all right by morning. So,
And what adds to the terror is that the monsters never run. But then I was thinking, I don't think Jason Voorhees and Michael Myers ever ran either. They just walked at people, and it's almost that same kind of a frightening approach, right? Like the fact that they don't run and they still kill as many people as they do. It's like, oh my god,
I
it's
agree.
scary.
It builds suspense too. Like what I find is when it comes to, say, I don't know if these are the right words, but fast killing versus slow killing, or be it quick versus more suspenseful. The
Right, right.
suspenseful, it leaves people hanging on more. It's like, oh, what's going to happen? Like, say, like if, and I'm just using an example. Say a guy comes up to someone and say, hacks them once, good night.
Yeah,
But where, say, you walk slower, and you're right, because Michael Myers, you find, I mean, he's basically strong. Like, he's got beyond superhuman strength. He doesn't, because he knows. I imagine he knows he doesn't have to rush,
yeah.
because he just gets there. And like Jason Voorhees, yeah, that's true. You never see any of them running, and I think that the fact that the creature is walking slow builds all the more suspense too.
Yeah, yeah, and the other thing is they're so convincing. Like I was talking with Molly, who plays Jasmine, and she had the flowers left for her, and the guy eventually let her through the window. You know the scene I'm talking about? I don't know if you've seen that. Like she's there with the flowers, and she's like, "Oh, I just have these flowers," and for like 2 seconds, you're like, "Oh my god, maybe she is a little different. Maybe." Oh no, she's not. She's terrible too. Like
Yeah,
she's
it goes from oh to oh my god, and
yeah,
then
but
or pretty.
I feel like Smiley though doesn't have that nice side. Smiley is angry and he is out to get you. Like some of them are like they put on like a show and a facade. Oh, I'm really nice, and they're really not. But I feel like Smiley doesn't do that. Smiley is like, you try to get away from me, you lose. Like very much like what happened on the bus. Like the bus scene where you picked a bad place. Smiley doesn't pretend to be nice. He is just Smiley. I love it. I love it.
Thank you. I'm not really sure what's behind that. I'm not sure if he's trying to be nice. I guess he just. I'm not sure what's behind that, but maybe half knowing. It's like knowing that he freaks that many people out. It's just like, why is he smiling so much?
And
It's
he
like
enjoys it.
it's like an
Jamie, he enjoy. It's like he really like enjoys it. He loves it.
Well, not unlike. Well, in that case, well, since Smiley's been compared to Joker, not unlike that. Always great, like he's always smiling. It's just like, well, the Joker's always enjoyed it. Well,
Yeah, that's true.
until Batman gets the better of him, but then what are you gonna do? So,
Yeah, man. I gotta tell you, I am so happy for you. Have you found
thank
that
you.
this is bringing out other opportunities? Do you? I mean, certainly we talked about how everyone's noticing. Do you feel like for potential other opportunities, you're being noticed more? Do you feel like as an actor, this is helping you professionally?
I'm really not sure.
Right.
I'm not really sure what's in my future, but right now I'm just glad for all the attention and praise I've been receiving from everybody.
Yeah, soak it
And
up.
I find it all the more awesome that it's I've actually seen pictures on Facebook, and these are, be they, like, I've seen pictures in, say, subway stations, be they Canada, US, or wherever, and it's the poster art for the stuff there.
Yes.
And like this is viewable, but I mean I see there's poster art, like not just say where I'm living now, but and not just in Canada, but Canada and US. And the fact that that people are watching this worldwide is amazing.
Yeah. Well said. My last two things I'll say finally is you do also remind me of Courtney Gaines, who is an iconic 80s actor. He is phenomenal. Check him out when you get a chance. Courtney Gaines. He's
We'll
in
have to
Can't
look
Buy
that
Me.
up then.
Yes, he's in Can't Buy Me Love. He's a legendary actor. And that, again, that's a compliment to you. That is very,
Oh,
yeah. And are you ever going to get some of these posters you think in your house? It would be nice. Dude, you are on a poster. How great is that? Get one of those in your house. Like, that's so awesome. Like, you were on a poster. I would have like 50 of them if it was me. Like, are you gonna get one of these posters and frame it and have it up in your house? You
I
have
don't
to,
know.
Jamie.
I don't know about 50 of them, but and I really can't say whether or not. I'm not really sure if I'm allowed to say whether I get one or not. But Should I
Yeah.
be lucky enough to have it, famous, or anything like that? It'd be an honor regardless. So I'm not sure to whom all the posters have gone or been distributed, but should I be lucky enough to get a part of it, have it framed or posted somehow, I would consider that an honor as well.
Oh yeah, you are super.
Being on the show alone was an honor. Like ever since season one.
Yeah, no, and you're.
It's been amazing, and it's just been so fantastic. Again, I'm probably stepping over everything, or probably repeating myself a million
No,
times,
no.
but it's been. I just really, I'm so overwhelmed by it, excited by it. I love every minute of it, not just from, but the industry itself, and the fact that such a wonderful series as From has been getting this much attention has been amazing.
No, and you've earned all of this, and you should enjoy every minute and soak up every minute, Jamie, for sure. You're a humble guy, a talented guy.
Thank you.
Jamie, do you have any social media you want to throw up before I let you go? Is there any? Can people follow you anywhere? Is there an Instagram? Whatever you wanted to say.
I am on Facebook, and I did recently put up an Instagram. So,
do you want to give that out, or do you want? Is that a private Instagram?
I'm not really. In all honesty, I'm not really comfortable giving out that.
Oh, okay, yeah, I didn't know
giving out that sort of info. And
I get it. No, I didn't know if it was a private or a public one. I didn't know that. I didn't know.
In all honesty, I'm not really sure. I'm just usually not that comfortable getting into details, other than I'm on this and that.
I got it.
And it's no worries at all. And again, that's just me personally. So
yeah,
and like I never like revealing anything more than I have to, or especially with secrets, be it about a show or be it say personal info or anything like that. So
oh yeah, and it wasn't
no.
Yeah, I guess like some guests like to like promote their work, or they like to promote the projects through, and that's the only reason why I asked that. I certainly would not want to.
Oh, no worries at all. But I would recommend this show to anybody in a heartbeat. And in all honesty, and to those who aren't even a huge fan of horror, I'd still recommend it. Yes, granted, it's going to be a little scary, but it's such an interesting show, and people that, for as long as I've known them, can't stand horror. But since they've watched this, they've been not just interested by it, but they love it.
Yeah. Yeah. And this isn't horror based. You're right, Jamie. This is about relationships too, the show. It's not really, it does have horror, yes, but like, it's not like a flat out horror movie. It's good storytelling. It's relationships. It's the writing. There's so much more to this than just, goriness or horror. I mean, that's part of a bigger recipe, I think, Jamie.
I couldn't agree with you more.
Yeah. Jamie, I hope you come back on down the road. You were so much fun, and thank you for all this time. You're a good dude. I'm going to get this up right away, and thank you, Jamie. I really appreciate you coming on today.
All right, no worries at all. Thanks for having me again, Derek, and I hope I do all right by you.
Yeah, health and happiness to you, my friend.